Hey everybody, Destalker here. So today I thought I'd talk about what's the best motorcycle for a first-time rider to buy. Now you might be interested, I'm not going to talk about CCs or size or style, whatnot, because you know what? The maturity of the rider, whoa, somebody definitely didn't make that corner. The maturity of the rider is actually the deciding factor on whether or not the bike is the right choice for a rider. You can be 40 years old acting like a 10-year-old and you're going to die on a 1000cc leader bike. But if you're 18 and smart, you can survive. So I'm not going to get into that. But what is probably the most overlooked aspect for a new rider is, can you physically handle the motorcycle? Now I'm not talking can you handle riding the motorcycle at 100 miles an hour or 70 kilometers an hour in a corner dragging your knee, that sort of thing. I'm saying you're in a parking lot, you park slightly on a down slope, and you have to physically back that motorcycle out of its spot because you can't drive it where you parked it. And a lot of people don't look at that. You know, with the engine off, can you physically turn that motorcycle around and get it out of its parking spot? Now, a lot of people can, but some people actually buy a bike that's physically bigger than they're able to handle. It's also like you see some situations where someone, you know, at a stop sign or you know, pulling into a parking spot, loses their balance point, and they try to put their leg down to keep the bike from falling over, and they're just physically not strong enough to do that. And that's what I'm actually talking about. So, you know, if you're a big bear of a guy or a woman that's very strong, there's no reason why you can't have a big bike. But it's just that the last thing you want to do is be a new rider dealing with all the issues that you have being a new rider, with, you know, learning all the levers, the controls, the handling, etc., etc., etc. And then on top of that, piling on the fact that you are riding or have purchased a motorcycle that you physically cannot move without assistance. So what I'm saying is, you know, if you're gonna look at a bike, like whatever your dream bike is, whatever bike you happen to be in your budget, what you literally should do is physically try to move it. Back when I had to take my motorcycle license, you know, about 285 years ago, the one requirement we had to do was you had to physically push your motorcycle in a figure 8, so that you know, the testers could see that you could physically handle the bike. I don't know if that's still being done today. I've never heard anybody talk about it. I know my wife, when she took her test, she went to the Motorcycle Safety Foundation for hers, and she never mentioned that it happened, that she had to do that, but it wouldn't have mattered because they were running little 125cc, you know, little dirt bike style bikes for their course, so basically almost anybody could have handled them. So, you know, as much as the Harley is really cool and you really want a Harley, or you know, if you want a sport bike or a Hayabusa, if you physically cannot move that bike by yourself unaided, that's not the bike for you. So either hit the gym or look a little more responsibly at the motorcycle that you're interested in getting. Now, this is coming out just before motorcycle seasons, motorcycle show season starts. So this would be a good time if you're actually thinking about getting a bike. Go to the bike shows, go to the bike shops, and look at all the different bikes. You know, see what's out there. A lot of choices. You know, you might think because I ride a sport bike, that's all I care about. But in reality, I don't have a hate for Harleys or you know, turn my nose up at adventure tours and whatnot. A bike's a bike, who cares? My wife's first bike was a sport bike, her second one was a cruiser, and her current bike's a cruiser, and I've ridden them all. They're not my cup of tea, but you know, they're okay. They do exactly what they're supposed to do, which is get you from point A to B in comfort and safety. So all I'm saying is, you know, if you go to look at a bike, you go to a bike shop and start shopping for something, or go to the bike show, see if you can physically move it. Now, one little caveat is always ask permission. Don't just walk up to a bike shop and start pushing around a $5,000 to $20,000 motorcycle and not expect to have the sales guy to have a flipping heart attack. But this is one simple way to see if you can, if that bike is the bike for you. So anyways, I hope this little bit of information helps. Death Stalker signing off.